When is it time to give up? This is such an interesting topic, and I was just talking with one of my really, really good friends about the nuance between being like, oh, that's how it is, whatever, I'm not even gonna try, versus those times in our life when it's actually really essential to give up. And it actually all comes down to empowerment. I have a couple different metaphors that I use with the people that I'm working with. And for people probably that are watching this channel, I assume that you are trying very hard to be your best. You're trying to improve your life. You're trying to be a better person. You're trying to overcome different hurdles, figure out how to do different things in the best way possible. Maybe even you're trying to be perfect, right? And all of that is really wonderful and really incredible. And also, when it comes out of a place of fear, it can actually be detrimental. My whole mantra is choosing love over fear, and always in whatever I'm doing, trying to choose love. Even when I notice that I'm really operating out of fear, reacting to myself in a loving way and choosing to operate out of love, even when I'm ashamed of what I've done or the mistakes I've made. And that's the same with trying and letting go. There's so many different words for letting go. There's surrendering, there's giving up, there's being a blob on like a puddle of mush, right? Letting go. Sometimes we do it willingly, and sometimes life beats us to a pulp, to the point where we can no longer try anymore. We can no longer function. And in a way, even though it's not necessarily out of love when you've been beaten but you can't function anymore, but it's also not based out of fear. It's more just based out of okay, I'm gonna just let go. And when you let go from a trusting or it's out of my hands place, oftentimes, ironically and so counterintuitively, that's when the shift happens. That's when the clouds part and the sun finally comes out. Again, the metaphor I use often is treading water. So many of us are treading water. We're trying to not drown. We're treading, and it's exhausting. And after you can do that for like 15 minutes, maybe if you're a really strong swimmer, you can do it for an hour or a couple hours, but pretty soon you can't. And then you feel like you're drowning a little bit. And then, yeah, you feel like you're gonna drown or you're gonna die. Whereas what you can do is you can just relax all your muscles and float on top of the water. And that's what letting go is. It's relaxing. But as soon as you stiffen up, as soon as you try to control your life, which I'm gonna be honest is uncontrollable. I'm all about empowerment and taking responsibility for our actions and doing practical things to change our life. And yet we cannot predict that COVID's gonna happen. We cannot predict that a war is gonna happen or a natural disaster is gonna happen or an earthquake is gonna happen. All of these things that we plan for so often can get upended by totally random, absolutely unpredictable things. And that is the reality. And we don't like to face that reality because then it makes us feel out of control. And when we feel out of control, our anxiety goes up, and then we want to control more things like maybe our eating or how much we exercise or how things look on a table, right? Or how much we spend. And that's much more fear-based when we're frantically trying to control our lives. And that's when we really need to let go. We need to surrender. We need to give up, because true healing and transformation comes when we trust. And I don't know what it is we're trusting in. It's super bizarre. Maybe it's the universe, it's whatever your belief system is, or maybe it's nothing at all. But even if it's nothing at all, just letting life go and flow, getting in touch with the flow of the energy that's all around us, that's when we see profound, deep change. The other side of it is when I've worked in communities or societies or countries that have just had bad thing after bad thing after bad thing happen. And this can happen even in your own life with, it's called learned helplessness, where you try and you get hit down, and you try and you get hit down, and you try and you get hit down to the point where you just don't even want to try anymore. And that's really coming more out of a place of fear of, you know what, it doesn't even matter. I'm not even going to try to be nice to this person. Who gives a shit? What's going to happen? Nothing. It's not going to do anything, blah, blah, blah. And that's coming out of this disillusion. You've shut off your heart. And that is not a good example of letting go. That is definitely not a time to surrender. Perhaps it's a time to evaluate your methods of what is it you're doing and what's not working, and how can you infuse love into the situation, either for yourself or for those around you or for the situation. There's always ways where we can infuse love. There needs to be a sense of love. We always want to operate out of this sense of love. That is my thoughts. It's kind of, this is a concept that's still percolating in my mind. So I'd super appreciate how you heard, or what you heard me say, or what your thoughts are on this, because it's such a nuanced difference between just being a jerk and not even trying to not be a jerk, and letting go and surrendering so that you can actually transform and move to the next level. And where is that line for you? How do you see that? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this, because it's something I'm still trying to really kind of figure out and contemplate. So yeah, I'd love to hear that. Let me know if you like this video. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to reading your comments. Take care.